Okay guys, now we are going to see how to write a problem and solution essay. Problem and solution essay is the second type. The first type is advantages, disadvantages. Today when we had the mock test, general training candidates, they got, academic candidates got, I think, advantages, disadvantages. So problem and solution essay, as the name is very clear, problem and solution. The same type we also call it cause and solution. Instead of problem solution, we just call it cause and solution, and we call it cause and effect also. Cause and effect. Effect means what are the reasons and how that thing affects the society and all that. So let's just take a start, and by the way, you never know, out of these 5 type of essays you might get any type. The first type advantages, disadvantages, the second problem solution, the third opinion, fourth discussion, and fifth double question essay. And sometimes that double question can be causes and solution, sometimes it can be reasons and solution, sometimes it can be reasons and suggestions. So whatever the type is, read the topic very carefully and you should know how to present your ideas accordingly. No essay type is going to be like you say, well, I don't know what type it is. You can easily understand while reading the topic. So, I mean, it's all about paragraphing. Introduction and conclusion, they are always the same. I tell you, in introduction, even if you write 2 sentences, that will do. The first sentence is a general sentence or about the topic, or if you don't want to write a general sentence, in the first sentence you can paraphrase the topic, and in the second sentence you can write your plan or your thesis sentence. So minimum 2 sentences can be written in your introduction as well, otherwise you can write 3 sentences too. And conclusion, whatever you mentioned, you are going to rephrase it again and then you are going to conclude your essay. So introduction and conclusion, they are same in every essay type. It's only the body paragraphs, and maximum body paragraphs are 4 and minimum 2. Okay, so you can see according to the essay topic 2 or 4, this is how you can just go on. Now we see problem and solution essay. Let's just discuss this topic. They say, I'm reading the topic, these days in many countries. The topic is given in italic. There is a box on page number 19 and the topic is given. These days in many countries, fewer and fewer people want to become teachers. Now, there is one very important thing. Whenever you write your essay, there are 4 marking criteria for the examiner, and these 4 criteria must be met very, very clearly. The first one is task response. Task response or task achievement. Now, what is task achievement? That is, you have written 250 words for task 2 and 150 words for task 1 minimum. Number 1. Number 2, you have written essay according to the topic. It's not that topic is different and you have written essay on something else, or you picked up a word from the topic and you did not understand complete topic and you wrote an essay on that. For example, over here, these days in many countries, fewer and fewer people want to become teachers. Now, read and interpret the topic. Very, very important. How to interpret in your own language, in your mother tongue. And you need to discuss the topic. I mean, you read the topic and look here and there. And in Ielts test, you are not even allowed to whisper. You cannot whisper. You cannot in reading especially, you cannot read loudly. They will stop you for that. So your mouth should be shut during the test, listening test or reading or writing. So what you do, you just read, interpret the topic and look here and there for some time as you are thinking that, okay, now I tell you how to interpret this topic. These days in many countries, fewer and fewer people want to become teachers, particularly in secondary schools. Means youngsters do not want to become teachers. Fewer and fewer means there are just few people who want to become teachers. So otherwise, people are not willing to become teachers, particularly in secondary school. What are the reasons for this? Now, from reasons we understand it, then they say, and how could the problem be solved? always remember two things. When you read the last sentence of essay topic, you must learn two things about the essay. The first one is topic and the second one is type. Type means problem solution, opinion, discussion, okay, or its advantages, disadvantages, and the last line will tell you. First, they will give you the whole situation or background statement. The last line of the topic will tell you whether this is problem solution. So, one is topic and second is type. Okay, now topic we understand, they are asking us why people don't want to become teachers. What are the reasons and how can we solve this problem? Now, the next thing which you are going to do after reading the topic, after understanding the topic, first you can spend a couple of minutes and I will advise you to read the topic at least 3-4 times repeatedly with a little break. How to have this little break? You read the topic, you discussed, then for few seconds think about something else. Think about any past story or think about anyone sitting over there pastoring with his nose or ear or anyone doing like that. I mean, your attention should be diverted somewhere. Then come back, read the topic again. Because you know, whenever I type any email, I type the email and I leave it there. After 20 minutes when I read it again, then I realize, oh God, I can change this, I can do that. So you should read the topic with after interval, and this interval should not be long. You can do another thing. Read the topic when they give you writing question booklet. First read essay writing topic. Read it, understand it, and then come to task 1. Now you will get a break of around 20 minutes. Okay, after doing task 1, when you go back, reread the topic. By that time, you already read the topic, you've got good understanding. When you reread, just you need to make sure what you understood that was right or wrong. So you can reread the topic. Now, the topic says these days in many countries, fewer and fewer people want to become teachers, particularly in secondary school. What are the reasons? Now you need to do brainstorming. Okay, brainstorming is not that you are trying to understand the topic. When you are trying to understand the topic, there is no brainstorming. Then it is full attention. You need to pay your 100% attention on the topic, interpreting or translating every word. After understanding the topic, now you are brainstorming. Why don't people want to become teachers? Number 1, salary. Right? Salary. It can be the main thing, like teachers, they don't have good salaries. I mean, even after 10 years, they have almost the same salary. And if there are other professions, there is the salary increment and all that. So number 1, you can talk about salary. Number 2, you can talk about facilities. Like multinational companies, they offer medical, conveyance allowance, this and that. But being a teacher, you don't have all these facilities. Number 3, teaching is a hectic job. Yeah, it's a laborious job. You have to work too hard. You need to make assignments, you need to deliver those assignments, check the copies, decorate the classrooms. On Saturdays, students don't come, but teachers have to come. And when they give you that result, wrapped up in ribbons and all that, so teachers have to do it all themselves. So it's a laborious job, it's a very hectic job. You can talk about that. Always remember, you need to select 3 reasons, and these 3 reasons must be in 3 different directions. Okay, now if you talk about salary, okay, you say, all right, teachers don't get good salary. In another paragraph, again, you say teachers don't have enough money. Salary and enough money, that's the same thing. So your 3 reasons must be in 3 different directions: east, west, north. It's not that both are in east. Okay, so one is salary, one direction is salary. Second is teaching is a hectic job, entirely different approach, right? Third is student behavior. You know, students tend to misbehave as well sometimes, and teachers are not allowed to punish them, or teachers are not allowed to say anything to them. So at times this is another thing. Okay, so you should think in 3 different directions. And if you are doing paper delivered Ielts, you can write these points, hold the pencil gently. Not, you know, sometimes you write You hold the pencil very, very hard. Hold the pencil gently. At the end on the answer sheet, don't do it on question booklet, because at times they don't allow you to write anything on the question booklet. So on the answer sheet, you can scribe few things. You can just write some ideas and hold the pencil gently. At the end, you can remove them, right? Now you are all set to write your essay. Now let's move on. We go through some points and then I'm going to explain it to you. They say try writing an essay. Now I'm reading the bullet points, please. Same page, there are some bullet points. I'm going to read them. First, write an introduction to the topic. I told you in every essay, introduction and conclusion, they must come. So it's understood that there should be introduction. Now how to write introduction? That's what I'm going to tell you. Then think of 3 causes of the problem and explain them. Why 3 causes? If you write 3 causes, they will be around 300, 350 words, and that is ideal. And your essay will be stronger. If you write only 2 causes with 2 solutions, so your essay will not be quite, because you need to convince the examiner. So reason number 1, here you go. Reason number 2, and here you go, reason number 3. So that shows you've got good knowledge. You understand the topic. So that's why it's a good idea. And don't worry, even if you write 350 words, 370, 380, that's perfectly all right. It should not be under length. Whenever you see the answer sheet, on the answer sheet, we've got few things like that is what we call, Yasin, can you give me the answer sheet, please? A writing answer sheet. Ask about the AC. Yeah. Switch it on, yeah. You're not going to pay the bill. On the answer, give me any answer sheet from there. Yeah. I just want to explain few things. You should be aware what to write and what to just do. On the answer sheet, first there are 2 examiners that check. Maybe one examiner only checks the number of words and all that stuff. Then we have this important thing. The first one is under length. Under length means you wrote 240 words and there they will write 10 words. Under length 10 words and under length 20 words if you write 230 words for task 2. Second is off topic. Now it's written here on the answer sheet. So if you write anything off topic, that will be out of the word count. So if you write only 250 words and 30 words are off topic, now you are left with 220 words. So you have to write at least 350 words and write on the topic. After off topic, next they have number of words, then they have penalty. Then there is another criteria, memorized. It's written here. I'm reading the answer sheet, writing answer sheet, memorized. Now what is memorized? You wrote 2-3 beautiful sentences and those sentences do not match. It's just like someone is wearing torn clothes, but the shoes are shining brightly. Very nice new shoes. The examiners can easily understand what belongs to you and what you have crammed and you wrote it there. Somebody told you if you write this, you get 7 band. So that will also be monitored and highlighted. And then they've got eligible. Eligible means handwriting which cannot be understood. The word which cannot be understood, what is this word? Because of poor handwriting, because of bad handwriting, there can be sentences or words which are eligible. So this is what they see, and after that their writing criteria is task response. Task response means you have written according to the topic, not off the topic. Again, memorized answer in listening, in writing and in speaking. Both ways there will be penalty on that. Okay. After task response, we have coherence and cohesion. Now, what is coherence and cohesion? Your ideas are well connected. You use conjunctions to organize your ideas. 2 things. One is sentences and ideas are well connected. Number 2, reader has been guided very well throughout the essay. How to guide the reader? First of all. Secondly, thirdly, finally. For example, by this I mean as a result, consequently. This is how you guide the reader very well. When you say finally, the reader knows now this Siapa is going to finish or end up, right? So you should guide the reader. Coherence and cohesion, only 2 things. One is ideas should be connected. Sentences should be connected and do not use simple sentences. You should use compound sentences because they will increase your bench score. What is a compound sentence? When two sentences are synthesized. I'm using the word synthesized. Synthesized means they are connected with the help of a conjunction. So that's what we call a compound sentence, and that gives you more bench score. Try to write longer sentences, but when you write longer sentences, there must be proper commas, conjunctions, and full stop. That's important. Okay, so after coherence and cohesion, next is lexical resource. Now, let's do a little exercise. We've got a topic here. These days in many countries, fewer and fewer people want to become teachers. Now, think about other words for teachers. Some other words for teachers, instructors, tutors, or mentors. So you can use word like that. For students, you can come up with some words like students, pupils, right? And sometimes even if you don't know, one thing is called synonym. One is called rewording, right? Now, for example, teacher, you've written teacher, you've written tutor, you've written everything. Then you can write for teacher them, they. Instead of writing teachers every time, you can write they. They lose their heart and they feel disappointed. For them, it is not good. Now, them and they means first you use the word teacher. Now you are using they and them for them. So, rewording, paraphrasing. For example, I can call it glass. I can call it container, right? And if I don't know, I mean, I want to paraphrase it, I can use it for this as well. I can also say something that holds water, or something that is used for keeping liquids inside. This is called paraphrasing. So, rewording and paraphrasing, that's what examiner wants to see. And remember, they should not be the repetition. Lexical resource does not mean use difficult words, use big words. If you use any word inappropriately, there is no function of that word and you don't know the function. Function is the most important thing. We have another thing, we call it collocations. I'll send you a handout on collocation. Collocation means a group of words that go together. These words make your English sound natural. So there should be some collocations, appropriate words. Last, we have grammatical range and accuracy. As I told you, don't use simple sentence. You can use compound sentence, use a wide range of structures. Especially you can use compound sentences, then you can use different tenses, and most of the time your essays are written in which tense? Present, 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 present. Essays are written in present most of the time. Unless there is an example you want to give from the past, or unless you want to predict about future, essays are normally written in present tense. So that is why you should have very good command over present simple tense, active voice and passive voice. Very important, because you know passive voice gives a variety to your writing. Active voice, passive voice, then present continuous. Present continuous should not be used. Instead of that, you should use present simple. Like for example, if you say when teachers are teaching the class. When teachers are teaching the class is not appropriate. It means the continuous action. So if you say when teachers teach the students, okay. Another thing, try to use plural words. Do not use singular. Now, what do I mean by this? The words which are related to topic, teacher. Now, don't write teacher, don't write student. You should write teachers, you should write students. Don't write subject. I mean, when you are using the noun, you should try to use plural. Unless you have a need to use singular noun, you should use plural noun. When you say plural noun, for example, when you say teachers, it means you are categorizing. You are talking about all the community, the teachers community. Okay, when you say subjects, it means you are talking about all the subjects. But when you say subject, singular, it means only one thing. So it's a good idea to use plural in your essay writing. Okay, so they've given this here, 3 causes, 3 solutions, and then there's going to be our conclusion. Until now, is it all clear? Now we practically go through one essay and we see all these things. Very good. So if you're not comfortable with the soft copy, we do have hard copy, so you can just contact Yasin, he'll tell you about it. Now let's see. We have another topic. People who live in large cities face a range of problems in their daily life. Think about people who live in large cities. By the way, you live in large city as well. Now every city of Pakistan is a large city because of population and all that. So these days, now they say people who live in large cities face a range of problems in their daily life. Now you start imagining people, large cities, range of problems in their daily life. What are the main problems people in cities face, and how can these problems be tackled? Now from this sentence you understand it's a problem and solution essay. So what are the main problems? Main problems means you will highlight 2 to 3 main problems. Now tell me, what are the problems that people face in big cities? Crowds, transportation, housing, it's difficult to find a house, okay, pollution, and a long distance, they have to travel long distance, and what? Noise. Okay, noise. Yeah, noise is another factor. Yeah, you can talk about it. So, I mean, you need to come up with some things and you need to mention just 3 problems. Okay, so you can select any 3. And then there must be the solution. Same problem and solution, 1 plus 1. We call it 1 plus 1. In one paragraph, you will present one problem and you will give the solution to the same problem. That's what you got to do. Now, over here, I'll just read this and I'll tell you the type of sentences and I'll tell you why this essay is going to get 8 or 8.5. It's a very simple essay. You will not find any word or any sentence that you say, well, I've never heard this sentence. I've never seen this thing in my whole life. It's not like that. And at the end, you'll be surprised as well. Will this essay get 8 band? Obviously, why not? Okay, let's just take a look. Now, we are writing introduction. I told you before, whenever you write introduction, 2 sentences must be there. The first is paraphrasing the topic, and the second is plan, or we call it thesis sentence. Paraphrasing the topic and thesis sentence. If you want to write 3 sentences in your introduction, then the first sentence should be a general sentence about the topic. Now, what is the topic here? City life and problems. You say, these days a large number of people live in mega cities and they come across various issues in their day-to-day life. A general sentence about the topic if you want to write. Otherwise, you can just paraphrase the topic and tell your plan, whatever the plan is. Now, let's go through this essay. I'm reading first paragraph now. Please follow me. These days, comma, and one more thing. Whenever you read specimen essays or specimen writing task 1, always read comma as well. Your subconscious mind will perceive it. And when you are writing, message will come, write comma here. Okay, so you should read comma. Like I said, these days, comma, more and more of us are living in big cities and urban conurbations. Now, this word can be new. Instead of urban conurbations, you can use the word suburbs. Urban conurbations mean the areas which are along or which are around the city. Now, for example, Lahore, all the areas which were around Lahore, they are the part of Lahore now. When you go until here, that UK or Murid Ke? Murid Ke is now part of Lahore. Okay, if you go there, I mean, there is that area that is now part of Lahore. So there are small towns and cities, they are the part of Lahore. That's what we call urban conurbations. Now, if this is different word, you could use any other word like suburbs or surrounding areas, that's fine. Are expanding all the time, present continuous. They are expanding at the time when you are talking, still this thing is happening. Okay, so this is the first sentence. Second, although cities are very attractive places to live, comma, and they provide, compound sentence, attractive places to live, comma, and then you write and then write next sentence. So now you have learned how to put comma. When you are joining 2 sentences, after first complete sentence, comma, then and then write second sentence, right? So they say here, although cities are very attractive places to live, comma, and they provide a wide range of work and leisure opportunities, comma, there are also a host of significant social problems affecting cities. Host of significant social problems. Now you can learn it. You can learn it. Whenever you have to write problem solution essay, use it there. I mean, there are two types of vocabulary. Let's talk about lexical resource. There are two types of vocabulary or lexical resource. One is which is related to the topic, and second is which is related to the coherence and cohesion of the essay, right? It's like that. Okay, now after that they say this essay will examine some of these problems in detail, comma, and then propose some solutions. Again, compound sentence, and this sentence is called thesis sentence. Thesis sentence is a sentence that tells you the plan, what your plan is. Now in this paragraph, there is a very good reason for high band score because of lexical resource, because of sentence structure, because of coherence and cohesion, and because of task response. In the first paragraph, you tell the reader whether I have understood the topic or I have not understood the topic. I mean, the first paragraph is the face of your essay, and this face will tell everything, right? Okay, so is that all clear? That number, and listen, you can do one thing. Today when you go back home, just select this essay and write the first sentence. Now what is first sentence? These days more and more of us are living in big cities, comma, and this, right? Just up to full stop, write complete sentence on a piece of paper. For a minute observe that sentence, why there is a comma, how many sentences are there, what is the tense, then think about any other topic and try to write another sentence using the same structure. You don't have enough time to learn grammar, and even there is no guarantee that after learning grammar you will be able to use it appropriately or not. So this is the easiest method for every type of essay. Number one, you should know what sentences should come. Like introduction, okay, first sentence is this, second is this, third is this, and I know how to write these sentences. Whatever the topic is, you can just change your ideas, but the sentence structure, by this I mean grammatical sentence structure, should be the same that you are going to learn. So you can, at least you can do this. Now, you know, for example, when you write body paragraph, in body paragraph, first sentence contains the main idea. So you can write it accordingly. Okay, now let's move on. Where were we? Second paragraph, now we are going to start. So they've written this essay will examine some of these problems in detail and then propose some solutions. And by the way, if your other sentences are good, there is no harm in copying this sentence and writing it in a problem solution essay. You know, once a student called me, texted me on WhatsApp and said, sir, the essay was a problem solution, but I wrote opinion essay. What a pity. I told you in the beginning, like the type and the topic, they are extremely important. These are the reasons. Otherwise, marking criteria for band score 7 is not very strict. In 7 band essay, there are mistakes. There is room for mistakes if you read the band descriptor. But if you write it away from the topic, memorized answers, crammed answers, irrelevant information, obviously you will get low band score there. Okay, let's move on, please. Now, one of the biggest problem facing people, now this can be copied. Whenever we talk about template, I'm always against using template, but you can use phrases. Along with phrases, you can write your own sentences. So this phrase, one of the biggest problem facing people, can be copied. Who live in cities is the high property prices. Now listen, in body paragraph, we call it main idea or we call it topic sentence. Now what is the topic of this paragraph? High property prices. Okay, now this paragraph will not discuss anything else other than high property prices. Now you're going to elaborate. It's not some students stuff their essay. Stuff like one thing, second, high property prices, pollution, large number of people, then say I wrote a very good essay. Examiners do not expect that. They want you to present one argument per paragraph with proper explanation, example and conclusion. How many things? First, argument, explanation, example and conclusion. So these 4 things you need in your paragraph. And listening is so good. Now you say, I enjoyed the lecture very much. You got to write it. You got to practice it. It's not going to be done overnight, that tomorrow you'll be able to write very good essays. You need to practice. You need to learn. I mean, you should know every type of sentence, and then through practicing, like by writing, you can learn, and then there you are. All the things will be here. That first sentence is like here, one of the biggest problem facing people. You know this thing, you know what your topic sentence is, just write it down there, then you'll get better bench score. Okay, in many cities, buying a house near the center is out of reach for people on the average salary. Now they are just explaining the same point, high property prices and explanation, comma, and they are forced to live outside the city and to commute into work. Clear? Now this sentence is also a compound sentence, not a simple one. Next, in central London, for instance, now you can give example, and there is another thing. The examiner who marks your writing is not from your country. The examiner who marks your writing is not from your country. What they do, this is the writing answer sheet I've got. This will go to Ielts official portal. They will scan it and it will go to the portal, and then Cambridge University, they have their examiners, and those examiners will mark. And by the way, your all identity is hidden. This thing is gone. Now examiner doesn't know this candidate is from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka. Examiner doesn't know anything about you. So whenever you give examples, try to give global examples, right? Global examples. Now London is a global example. Okay, you should not give any personal example like my uncle, my younger brother. Okay, so that makes your essay informal. Essay is a formal document, so do not give personal examples, and try to give, I mean, instead of writing Lahore, you can write London. I mean, this is what you understand. Over here it's the same thing. They say in central London, comma, for instance, the cost of even a 1-bedroom flat is prohibitive. Good word. Prohibitive means not affordable. Prohibitive for many people. Now by the way, you know the word prohibit, but how to make prohibitive, this is what you need to learn, the same words, how to convert it into noun and how to convert it into verb and all that, adjective as well. Prohibitive for many people. Now full stop. To solve this problem, what is it? Coherence and cohesion. Now you are telling the reader, Mr. Reader, I'm giving you solution to solve this problem. And by the way, now you have written to solve this problem. Second time you will not write to solve this problem. Next time you can write to resolve this issue, to overcome this challenge. Do you understand? That's what we call using a variety of words. So to solve this problem, the government could put more resources into building affordable housing, comma, which would allow more people to buy their own home. Is that clear? First you presented the problem, the cause of the problem, then you explained that cause, then you gave example, and finally you gave the solution to that. In the same way, next paragraph, another issue is traffic and air pollution. So both are same, traffic and air pollution. Most big cities are overrun with cars, comma, and there is a grade. So you should learn this structure, comma, and then write the next sentence. Instead of writing small sentences and then full stop, you should write comma, and then join the next sentence. At least one sentence per paragraph should be like this. And there is a great deal of traffic congestion. The exhaust fumes. Now this is good word. This is what examiner wants to see. If you only write smoke coming out of the cars, okay, so exhaust fumes is the good word. Exhaust and fume is the word for smoke. right? So the exhaust fumes from these cars. Now see that the word these, I tell you the word this is very important word in essay writing. Do not write it. When you write this, it means you are linking that sentence with the previous one. When they say these cars, it means the cars they talked about in the previous sentence, right? This is what we call proper organization. So these cars cause air pollution, comma, and as a consequence means as a result, again, comma, more and more people are suffering from respiratory diseases, comma, such as asthma. Clear? So comma is very, very important punctuation mark, and you already know how to write full stop, but you should learn how to write comma. You divide the sentence into small portions, right? Okay, so respiratory diseases. This is another good word, respiratory diseases. A common student will write breathing problem. They will write breathing problem, but for band 8, you will write respiratory diseases. So, I mean, you should see this is the topic and what best vocabulary I have according to this topic. Okay, let's move on. This problem could be addressed. Now, see that I told you there will not be any repetition. In the second paragraph, he said, what was that? To solve this problem, exactly, to solve this problem. Now he's saying this problem could be addressed. And by the way, you can learn these phrases. When you are preparing problem solution essay, make a list that these are the phrases. Just make a complete sketch, X-ray or sketch of your essay, and then you can fill in the blanks and all that. So this problem could be addressed and could be addressed as passive voice. Even if you don't know what passive voice is, if you learn this sentence, you'll be presenting good one. By introducing a congestion charge for cars entering the city center, comma, thereby cutting the number of vehicles on the road. Thereby means as a result. So this word is also uncommon. Thereby or thus, as a result, cutting the number of vehicles on the road. Now for cars, they have used the word vehicles and all that. Is this clear? Now, next paragraph. Finally, what does that mean? Siapa is going to finish, okay, finally. And this is for the reader. A proper, this is what we call, one of my students, he recently got 7 or 7.5 band in writing. First, he had achieved 6 band. I gave him a book. I've given that book to you also. He went through that book, and then the things I'm telling you practically, these are the things he learned from that book. It's Ielts teacher or something like that. I'll share it with you as well in the group. So that book tells you why students get low band score. Okay, and the reasons are same which I just shared with you, right? So now you can see finally another problem is the quality and cost of public transport. This is the final one, quality and cost of public transport. That is to say means now you want to express, I mean like in Urdu, Hindi we say iska matlab ye hai, or what I mean to say, what I mean by this is, it's that. That is to say, in most capitals, now capitals means capitals of the country like Islamabad, most capitals, comma, public transport is inefficient. Now the word inefficient is good, and the infrastructure is old and inadequate. Focus the word, and you know these words by the way. You have two vocabularies. One vocabulary is your reading vocabulary. You read, say, I know this word. Do you use it in your speaking or writing? No. See that? Your reading vocabulary is always greater than your speaking or writing vocabulary. There are many words which are they are dead in your brain. Words are there, they are dead. When you look at that, they become alive. Yeah, I know this word inadequate. Sometimes you don't know the function of the word. So for that, try to read as many sample essays as possible. And when you read, you need to look carefully. Tenses and the 4 criterias of examiner, that can help you. Alright, at the same time, comma, ticket prices are often too high, comma, which puts people off using public transport. Put people off. Put off is idiomatic phrase. Put off means to stop someone or something to do something. puts people off using public transport. The way forward must be, what does that mean? Solution, exactly. Now 3 sentences and you can write them down on a piece of paper. Do one thing, just write one paper for your problem solution and write all the sentences. In first paragraph I'll write this, in second paragraph I'll write this, third this, so that you have a variety. Okay, the way forward must be to invest more money in trains and buses, comma, and to slash ticket prices. This would encourage more people to use public transport. Now we come to conclusion, and you can observe how to write conclusion. To sum up, now these 3 words tell anyone that this essay is going to finish, and this is the concluding paragraph. All the paragraphs, now if you take a look, please, take a look at the first sentence of second paragraph. One of the biggest problem. Next paragraph, another issue is, next paragraph, finally another problem. Every paragraph when it starts, it guides the reader very, very well. The flow is very smooth. This is what examiner wants to see. There isn't any rocket science in it, okay? You just need to practice it like that. So, to sum up, although it is clear that cities face a range of problems, now what is this? You're paraphrasing the topic. It is undoubtedly possible to start to tackle these issues and improve the quality of life in cities. You can do this. If you don't want to do like this, then you can do one thing. You can paraphrase the causes of the problem. 3 problems which you mentioned in 3 paragraphs. In one sentence, you can, for example, they mentioned here that cities face a range of problems, then talk about like, and then first problem, second problem, and then you can write one sentence about the solution, paraphrasing the solutions, right? Okay, government and local council must tackle the lead in dealing with these problems. Otherwise, city life will only get worse in the future. So, you can always write a sentence in future if it is, yeah, exactly. This is because in essay, you didn't write any future sentence. So, when you write conclusion, then you can write, for example, the essay is about teachers. And more people are not interested to become teachers. So, there also you can write one sentence in future. So, you can make a note in conclusion of problem solution essay, I must write one sentence in future. And what is that? You can see it's future simple. Government and local council must take the lead in dealing with these problems, comma, otherwise city life will only get worse in the future. Is that clear? So, now you can take a look, observe all these things, and you can write an essay like that. And again, I tell you, whenever in actual, I mean the way you are going to prepare, deal with each essay type separately. Like you can say, well, for 5 days I'm working on problem solution essay only. You can write down some notes. You can just observe in first paragraph introduction, I will write this, this, this. These are the phrases, these are the sentences I will write, and you can make your own template. Then read some problem solution essays. Just see how these words are there, and at the end you should use that template to write at least 4 or 5 essays so that you are sure that you understand the whole sketch. Again, I'm telling you, task response is number 1. After task response, then they check grammatical range, they check coherence and cohesion, they check lexical resource. If there is no task response, other 3 things are useless. Do you understand? If the essay is not written according to the topic, vocabulary is excellent, grammar is excellent, coherence and cohesion is excellent, that is useless. So, that essay will fall into the category of this memorized answer, and you will get very low band score for that, right? Okay, thank you.